Good morning, good evening, wherever you may be from around the world. Welcome to Centri News. In our main news story today, we have the CIA report, what has just been released. I think it's a 6,700 page report, what has been detailed from the CIA and all the interrogation techniques, what they used and stuff like that. I believe there's only 500 pages what have been released from this document. The rest is classified, but it states in the report, there was techniques used, what is classed as torture. So let's talk about this. So I was reading a little bit of it, and they used techniques like waterboarding, what made people convulse and made people vomit. Now these are people that are suspected like terrorists, okay, people what they've caught. I think there was 36 people they had in capture, and they used these techniques on them to get information out of them. But it turns out in this report, they didn't get no information out of the people they used these violent techniques on. So was it worth doing it? Well, probably if they look at it now, no, okay, because this report's come out and it's showing that the CIA, they've been using brutal techniques to get information out of supposedly terrorists. And I believe that there's no one's going to get charged for this, or no one's going to get sent to prison or anything like that. But I believe these techniques are pretty brutal, and I don't think they should be used. Now you could look on this on a different way. If these terrorists was gonna blow up your house, they used these waterboarding techniques on them to get the information out that they was gonna blow up your house. I'd say, thanks a lot, you probably saved me. But they didn't get no information out of these people, and we're in a stage now that we shouldn't use these brutal techniques. We should use more subtle ways to get information out of people. And like the FBI and people like that have commented, the best way to get information out of people is to be friendly to people and get them to open up. But obviously we still have techniques in play where we try to use violence to extract information out of people. Because obviously when you put someone through so much pain, they can only take so much pain until they want to talk. It's like the methods what the gangsters use and stuff like that. So is the CIA like gangsters? They use gangsters techniques, like waterboarding, electrocuting people, stuff like that. So my thoughts on it is, obviously we shouldn't use these techniques and stuff like that. It is pretty wrong, and we have all the human rights people saying, look, this is wrong and stuff. Now I think it'd have looked better if the CIA actually got some really good information out of these people. But as the reports turns out, it says they did all these violent interrogation techniques, but they didn't get no information out of the people. Now if they would have found a big plot or something, or if they would have found Osama bin Laden from these people, it probably wouldn't have looked so bad. But obviously I didn't get no information, and I believe at the end of the day we shouldn't have used these techniques on these people, because even though if they are terrorists or whatever, we still if we solve violence with violence, it's just we're as bad as them technically. As I look at it like this, we shouldn't try to use violence on violence. We got to be smarter than these terrorists what are using violence on us. They go out and they would chop someone's head off live on the cameras to get a reaction, show the people that they're in power or whatever, that sort of thing. They use very brutal techniques, but we got to be smarter than that. And I believe that we got to get around these people and use smarter techniques, because we don't want to be as bad as these people. So I believe, yeah, it was wrong to use these waterboarding techniques and stuff like that, and try to get information out of people. So my views on it, to be honest with you, waterboarding and all that techniques, these violent, brutal interrogation techniques, yeah, you shouldn't use them. It is wrong, because it's going to make us bad as the terrorists what are, beheading people and stuff like that. We got to be a lot smarter and a lot more, switched on. And we got to get around these people and get information out of them the smart way. We don't want to be as bad as these people. But on the other hand, I can understand the CIA using some brutal tactics to get information out of people. You got to remember, after 9/11 got hit and the Pentagon and stuff like that, it was like America was under attack from basically these terrorists, and they didn't know what was going to happen next. It could have been your family's house next. It could have been the White House. It could have been anything. Okay, so they was proper angry and probably desperate to get information out of certain people fast, because they wanted to stamp this out. But on the other hand, they shouldn't use these techniques to do it. So this report has come out and it's highlighted, look, we did use waterboarding techniques, what made people convulse and vomit and all that stuff. I don't believe there's no one going to go to prison for this. No one's going to get sentenced or anything like that. But what concerns me is that there's a 6,700 page report what's been released, but we only get 500 pages of this. I would like to see the rest of the pages to see what else is in that. But I believe the CIA's got to be more like the James Bond and be smooth to get information out of people, rather than storming in like Rocky Balboa, smashing heads, waterboarding people. Okay, so in other news, the Royals are in New York and they've been laying flowers down on the 9/11 spots and paying their respect to the people that we lost. Prince William and Kate are mentioned to be going to a museum today to have a celebration. And I also saw a funny picture of William looking at cheerleaders in a basketball game. So respect to you. Okay, so that is all our reports on Centri News today. We will see you tomorrow. Remember to share this video, like it and comment, and tell me your thoughts on the situation. And remember to subscribe to our channel for more news, what we will bring you tomorrow. Have a good evening wherever you may be from around the world.